Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, GGG finally fixed iShot. Thankfully they did it after the Christmas break. So I got the chance to play the character that I really wanted before the start of early access, which is Invoker. An Invoker iShot. And I'm currently level 87, already reached tier 14, tier 15 maps. Haven't do the super endgame contents yet, but I have to say it's been a blast to play iShot as much as I've always wanted to do. Anyway, so this is my character. Okay, so let's start with the concept behind the character. So I played it to be a crit scaling bow user. As you can see here from the skill tree, we've taken some crit nodes here, and here. Sorry, this is not crit nodes, this is mana regen nodes. And I incorporated what I've learned so far playing the game, and basically I created this build to do also to also include weapon swap shenanigans. So something I discovered with weapon swap is that, okay, for example, here Unbound Avatar, the base duration of Unbound Avatar is 9.8 seconds, and there's really no other method to increase the skill effect duration other than use this one support gem, persistence, and there's no other relevant supports that you can use for Unbound Avatar. But something I also discovered is that if you take increased skill effect duration, you can also increase Unbound Avatar duration. As you can see here, the Unbound Avatar has a 13.72 second duration, but if I use weapon swap tech, I can increase this to 20.5 second. So and the good thing about the buff is that the buff sticks to your character. It doesn't snapshot with your main weapon or what. So you can swap weapon, cast Unbound Avatar, and then use back your normal weapon. So with that, I also played around with what I use for my weapon set 1 and weapon set 2. So let's start with weapon set 1, which is the main damage setup, our bow and quiver. So we use iShot, our main skill. We have lightning rod for single target, and orb of storm to combo the effect of lightning burst on enemy, and also inflict many hits on the enemy to build up Unbound Avatar stacks during bossing at least. Barrage, I'm not really using it as much. I kind of this is from my previous setup. I kind of keep forgetting to click it, so it's not really that important. And for weapon swap 2, which is the one that we focus our skill effect duration on, I have temporal chains, which has a 7-second duration, but with my setup, the curse lasts for 10.5 seconds. And voltaic mark, which has which increase the effect of shock on marked enemy. So it's like increased magnitude of shock. And even though it has a base duration of 8 seconds, with my setup, the mark duration lasts 18 seconds. So that's basically long enough for it to be casted on bosses. And then what else do I cast? Okay, so for our aura, we have Cast on Crit, Wind Dancer, and Herald of Ice. Okay, so basically I'll show you the gameplay in a bit, and then I'll explain how the build really works. Okay, so this is a level 78 map, which is a normal tier 14. We'll just do a normal mapping. I'll do a separate bossing clip after this because I don't have any boss atlas map within my reach, so I'll just do a recording of this mapping first. So basically, during normal mapping, you just use your eye shot and shoot to at the closest enemy to your character, because you want to make sure to capitalize on the forking behavior and the ice shot that is produced behind your main arrow to clear the enemy, and Hammer of Ice would usually take care of the rest. And if you meet tougher enemy, just use your Orb of Storm plus Lightning Rod combo. And okay, see here, once you have full stack of Unbound Fury, cast one spell first, click Unbound Avatar to make sure you get maximum duration of the buff. And it's out. And then we'll build it again. As you can see here, during mapping it's quite easy to build the avatar stacks. Oops. Okay, this is the tougher enemy. Well, it's his half-life already. So just cast your Orb of Storm plus Lightning Rod. I mean, if you want to go all out, make sure to use Unbound Avatar and Voltaic Mark also. Anyway, cast a spell, Unbound Avatar.
I need mana.
And basically that's how mapping goes with this skill. Not really much else to say. Okay, so we're finally at the boss. So the way it works is you cast Voltaic Mark because that's the longest debuff that you have, then Temporal Chains, then Orb of Storm, Unbound Avatar, then just alternate between Lightning Rod and Ice Shot. And then renew your Orb of Storm and Temporal Chain whenever it's finished on the boss. Okay, Voltaic Mark, Temporal Chain.
I cannot. Need more mana.
Then just recast everything.
Need more mana.
And yeah, that's about it. It's quite messy, and mana is kind of an issue for this build. That's why I use a lot of increased mana regen, but I still can do 100% uptime, and I need to spam the mana flash as much as possible. Okay, so basically that's how I play this build. I'm still in the middle of optimizing the build, but I don't know, without a POB it's hard to really, how to say, test which setup is the best. I mean, I think it's okay. It's doing quite well, but yeah, at the end of the day, is it the most optimum setup? I can't really say for sure. I don't really have the money to play around and changing things on the fly and then respecking it back. Well, I have the gold, but I don't have the currency to do all that. Anyway, let's start with the gear. I'll cover a little bit. Okay, for gear, our bow and quiver. The most important part about the bow is the critical hit chance. So you need to roll a high amount of critical hit chance suffix. I recommend at least 9%. We have 8.99, but 0.01%, whatever. And then high fizz and high lightning damage bow. And then quiver. We have high crit chance, high crit damage bonus attack for attack damage. And then also I recommend additional roll of lightning damage whenever you can. This is because our main skill is ice shot, but we want to inflict shock as well together with our ice shot, so that we can build unbound avatar stacks as much as possible. And then our glove, lightning damage, attack speed, life. Oh, and also something I forgot to mention. The problem with this build is that here, the stats requirement are quite strict. You can see here from my equipment, I roll quite a lot of here 30 intelligence. This one don't have anything. This one 30 intelligence. My bow, my quiver don't have anything. My glove has 18 dexterity. Yeah, but basically it needs high enough intelligence to at least do the cast on crit setup. To at least I think you need at least 130 something, 133 or something. Anyway, sorry, I ramble on. Let's continue. Boots is just movement speed, evasion, life, resistance, body armor, life, evasion, resistance, and I try to slot in life regen also as much as possible, because otherwise the build doesn't really have good sustain without killing any enemy, because we have recover life on kill. So this is during bosses mostly. And then ring, life, resistance, and life, resistance, and increase mana regen. Yep, something I also need to highlight. You need also a lot of increased mana regen to deal with your mana problem. Otherwise you'll be spamming your mana flash a lot. And then belt, life, mana, resistance, life regen, mana recovery, and charges per second. And for weapon set 2, we have a wand. The main attributes that we want are cast speed and intelligence, high enough cast speed and intelligence, and preferably reduce attribute requirements so that you can equip high tier wands with lower intelligence. And then the shield, we're only taking this shield. We want high enough increased block chance, because sometimes you get attacked also during spellcasting, and also 50% increased skill effect duration. So when you cast your debuff, you need to make sure your debuffs are casted with weapon swap 2 to benefit from the 50% increased skill effect duration. And this is not something that's really available on our side of the tree, so this is something really important to cast our debuff. And this is what part of what causes our voltaic mark to last 18.8 seconds, more than double its initial duration. Okay, then our passive skill tree. Okay, this is something I also need to highlight. We're taking a lot of crit notes here, and I just need to tell you guys, before you actually have a, you can't level this character as a crit bow straight away, because crit is not really readily accessible. It's something that you can only transition to once you have a decent bow. Otherwise, you just take normal damaging notes, like let's say here, increase elemental damage, increase elemental damage, increase elemental damage if you chill enemy, because you only can transition to this build late game once you have the gear. Otherwise, don't build this character from ground up using crit scaling. So yeah, just something I need to highlight. Okay, anyway, power 3, we start as a monk. We go through here, and we take this extra cold damage, extra lightning damage, and then we path downwards. Here we take elemental damage for each type of elemental element. Penetrate cold resistance here, penetrate resistance, penetrate resistance. This one magnitude of shock, magnitude of shield, attack speed. This one, dexterity and evasion, you can leave it later during once you get later into the game. Path through here. Elemental damage. This one crit damage, only path through this once you get the once you get the crit bow. And then here go through here for elemental damage with attacks, then more damage, this one evasion, and then freeze build up, chance to shock, and attack damage penetrates 50% elemental resistance. And then with your weapon swap too, you pass through here for skill speed. This skill speed also affects your casting time for your spells. And then mark, and then here mark, and also here cast speed. So this is for weapon swap 2, and for weapon swap 1, just fill in with whatever attacking notes that you can see from the tree. So this is pretty much the passive tree. And then we have 3 jewel socket right here, 1, 2, 3. And the good notes that we want are here, for example, critical hit chance, projectile damage, damage with hits against rare unique. This one, critical damage bonus, projectile damage, damage with hits against rare and unique. This one, critical damage bonus, damage with bow, damage with hits against rare and unique enemy. So basically just more damage. And for ascendancy, I recommend taking here, go through I am the Blizzard, and then I shall rage. Then after that, go to lead me through grace, and then finally protect me from harm. I don't have the 4th ascendancy yet, I haven't done it yet, but basically lead me through grace allows you to gain spirit from stacking evasion on your armor, and it's very much needed to do our cast on crit setup, because cast on crit reserve 100 spirit. So we only have 100 spirit from the campaign, and you need like another what else do I have? Or 15. You need 30, and 100. So you need at least 160 to do the cast on crit setup. Okay. Finally, we'll go to the gem setup or the skill. Okay, Unbound Avatar, always link to Persistent for more skill effect duration. Then our main skill, Ice Shot. We have Martial Tempo, Ice Bite, and Fog. Okay, Fog is the most important next to Martial Tempo. The reason I use Fog is because Fog only has less damage multiplier after fogging. So your main shot will be much stronger compared to if I were to use Scattered Shot. And since because we're not Deadeye, we have to get our +1 additional projectile from our bow if we want to, and I don't really want to compete with the gear with other more meta characters, so that's why I use Fog instead. But I think it clears well enough for the build. Okay, and then Martial Tempo, Ice Bite, Primal Armament, so just damage. Lightning Rod, Scatter Shot. Okay, this one is needed because we want to plant as much Lightning Rod as possible. Then Lightning Pal, Lightning Exposure, basically just more damage. I don't have Greatest Jeweler's Orb yet, that's why you don't see my lightning rod like really popping off on the enemy. Barrage, I'm not really clicking it that much, but I kind of keep forgetting about it. Anyway, it has premeditation for more damage, perpetual charge for chance to not consume charge. Oh, this one was from my previous setup, that's why it has all this support skill. It's not really needed anyway. Ingenuity for increased cooldown recovery rate. Okay, actually I can take perpetual charge because I want to reduce the mana cost. Then Orb of Storm, we have Overabundance for plus 1 limit. We have Unleash, so that we can get 2 Orb of Storm per cast, and then Font of Rage to grant us rage while standing near. And Rage grants more attack damage, and you can actually keep on casting because your Orb of Storm lasts much longer than the duration. The seal gain much faster. It gains much faster than the duration of the Orb of Storm, so you can gain up to 30 maximum rage. But most of the time, it's not really recommended to stick that close to the boss because you can't see shit when you stand that close. Temporal Chain, we have Focus Curse for skills erupt with reduced delay. Hex Bloom, this allows our curse to propagate, and I usually use Temporal Chain when I'm stuck in the middle of an arena most of the time, let's say like Ritual or Ultimatum, and it's quite nice when you use it that way. Inspiration for less cost because curse have way too high mana cost. Voltaic Mark, we have, well, basically all of this stuff is not really needed because it only buffs the damage of the Voltaic Mark, but what I really want is the mark itself. And the reason why I use Voltaic Mark is because with the long duration, you don't need to recast it, unlike Sniper's Mark, which is from a glance it looks to be, where is it? Oh no, not this one, Spirit. From a glance, Sniper's Mark looks to be much better than Voltaic Mark, but the problem with it is that it only buffs the next critical hit the target receives, but it will consume the mark. So if you're like a fast hitting build, Sniper's Mark is not really that good because you only buff like one singular hit, unless it's only, what do you say, it's only good for skills that have very high damage but long attack time, like if you're using Snipe, for example. So that's why we're using Voltaic Mark instead. Cast on Crit, we link it with Eye of Winter to inflict critical weakness. I'm not sure how long it lasts. That's why we use Temporal Chain as well, so that the effects on enemy expire much slower. But I don't think it's that long. That's why it's not really recommended. That's why I use Temporal Chain together with Eye of Winter. Then Cold Exposure, inflict cold exposure for 8 seconds on critical hit with cold damage, and because we're scaling crit anyway, and Eye of Winter has a 12% base crit chance, so it can crit quite consistently. Impetus for gain increased energy. Then our second aura, Wind Dancer, we have Cannibalism for recover life on kill. This is good for map sustain, and then Blind plus Maim, just something to support our Wind Dancer. And finally, Herald of Ice, I link it to just anything that buffs the damage of Herald of Ice, which is Close Combat, Cold Infusion, and Magnified Effect. And yeah, I think that's pretty much for this video. Again, just sharing with you guys what I'm doing with the character. Mapping in Path of Exile to Early Access feels really bad for me, so that's why I don't really feel like really pushing myself much, because I don't know, it doesn't feel that enjoyable to do late stage mapping, especially during tier 14, tier 15, and what. Even though I haven't done any of the extra content, I really don't see myself like really pushing my character that far. At the moment, I'm just trying to play around with the build, just trying to approach things in a different way because I just want to understand the how to say, how to build my characters in the future. But you're welcome to take any inspiration that you want from my build video, and if you have any question regarding my character, feel free to ask it down in the comment. And yeah, I'm still planning to play this build because at the end of the day, I always like I shot even during POE1. It's just that I kind of don't have a goal right now for my build because I don't really like to play mapping in Path of Exile 2, to be honest. Like every time I do mapping, I always want to go back to the campaign with another new character just to play around. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you very much. Bye.